views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ Show.
Yo, 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 Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Y'all know what time this is. It's time for the Alan and DJ TV show program. And of course, I'm Alan.
And this is your boy, DJ.
DJ, what's going on, Dirty?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm good, man. Feeling good. Just left the dentist not too long ago. Had to get a little cleaning done.
Okay.
And then, Bambi, the deer, was so impatient. She had she had some people in there scared. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I want the Ramblers to hit me and everything. I said, Bambi, it's all good. But I said, Bambi, you have to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Because, we in partnership together. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm telling you what to do or anything, but Bambi, you had to let me lead. And we had this big old fuss in the dentist's office. Mm-hmm. You know what, bro? That's it. That's what we can talk about today.
Okay.
And shout out to Tamara, and shout out to her whole team. They gave me this topic. They wanted to hear about this, and they want to know the difference between submission, partnership, and relationships.
Okay.
So without further ado, let's kick this thing off to you the way the Alan and DJ show is accustomed to kicking it to you. So bullet point number 1, DJ.
Okay.
When it comes to, we're going to talk about decision-making structure.
Okay.
So break that down to the people out there who don't understand on how this tie into submission and partnership and relationships.
With decision-making structure, like when it comes down to submission, everything is pretty much on one person, meaning like that one person makes all the decision and that other person just follows their lead. And when it comes down to like partnership, it's basically two people join together, and basically when they join together, one person makes a decision and the other one follows. Then the other person makes the decision and then that other person follows, making it equal.
I like that because when it comes to decision making for me, you know what I'm saying, and the way I view it in relationships, and there's two different ways you could look at this. Like for one, like to me, submission often like involve anterior structure. And what do you mean by that, Al? Which is one person who has the final say so. And at times, yes, but at times, no. And I don't think that's good in a relationship. I think when it comes to a relationship, it should be more of like a partnership thing. It's built off of equal decision making where both partners have voices that matter equally. So you could say, for an example, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be partnership and relationships. It could be a business relationship, you know what I'm saying? So that is like the Alan and DJ show. Even though I'm the host of the show, I don't make all the decisions. Everybody's decision has to matter. You know what I'm saying? But let's say when it comes to a relationship and you with your girl or ladies, you with your dude, submission is, to me, knowing how to let the man lead. Mm-hmm. But ain't no woman gonna follow no weak man. She's not gonna follow no weak leader.
No.
So your leader skills have to be like structured to the T. And ladies, it's not that he's telling you what to do or anything like that, because at the end of the day, behind every strong man should be a strong woman.
Yeah.
And then I like that in my pops, and also I like that in your pops when, his woman was so submissive.
Yeah.
In such a good way, and that's what makes the relationship last. And then also too, him being the man sometimes, letting him sit back and also letting the woman voice her opinion, because she might have some concerns that she's not happy about. But before I kick the bucket to DJ, I always say, what a man provide, a woman should multiply. Ooh. What a man provide, a woman should multiply. So if I'm the breadwinner, if I'm bringing the bread in the house, she gonna make the meals and she gonna multiply it. The meal's gonna be good. Or, if I say, baby, look, here's the money. Let's get this business started. I want you to make these type of investments. She getting the job done. And we making money.
Yeah.
That's where her expertise come in at.
Like what's crazy, Al, is like when people when it comes down to submission, like a lot of people utilize submission as like an old tradition.
Yeah.
Meaning like that was the way that people were brought up on how to like raise their family and stuff like
Facts.
that. As opposed to like now in this new day and age, it's more of like I want a partnership, or I want the relationship to be equal. Like, don't you hear that like all the time? Where
All the
people
time,
say
all
like,
the time.
I want the relationship to be equal. I want to be respected just as much as you want to be respected.
Yeah.
And depending on what relationship you're in, like it could work either way. But the crazy thing about like that is like the best way is probably the person, like one person submits, the other person follows. That's probably the best way to like get through or to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But it's nothing wrong with a partnership as well, because like y'all are growing and connecting together.
And a beautiful said, DJ, because
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, we supposed to be in partnership at the end of the day. But at the same time, when women make decisions, and not to be sexist here, women are already naturally hardwired off of emotion. So she might make a decision based off emotion, but later on she logically thinks like, oh, that wasn't the smartest decision. Where about men think more logically. Not that some men don't have emotions or make bad decisions off emotions, but why do you think sometimes we get into it with your girl and your dad used to be like, hey, call her later on. Right now she mad, or two, she might say, call me later on because I'm in my feelings right now. That's because her emotions it is all over the place. You have to let women process stuff. Then you know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, I'm gonna hit her up, or vice versa. She might be ready to talk because she's in a more logical mind state. So I say that to say this: when it comes to being submissive in relationships, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it should be, because then that's gonna make that man stay around. Because he's gonna be like, yo, I got a great woman, you know. We have great partnership together, and we do things as a team, and she let me lead.
Yep.
As long as I'm leading the right way.
Absolutely.
And bullet point 2, origins of control, compliance versus co-creation. So let's dive deep into that, DJ.
Okay. Like when it comes down to compliance, it's like geared towards submission, which meaning like it's basically like a shift in power dynamics, meaning that it's a one-sided shift in power, meaning like that person has all the control and you don't have no control. And if you try to have any type of control, it's kind of like a breach of contract.
Ooh, man, beautiful said, bro. Yeah, because submission can awfully come from, how can I say this, a requirement to yield authority. So it's like you kind of, hey, I need you to get this done, and then after this, I need you to handle this and handle that, and then make sure that those files are in by next week. And a person, okay, you know, or yes, sir, like I get to it. That's more of like from a compliance standpoint of a submission. But with partnership, it focuses on collaborating, bringing individual strengths together to create a co-creation of what I want to call a shared life. Because we're doing this together. So what I always say is no I in team. And that's in my relationship or whoever she may be in the future. Because man, Bambi going through some things right now. But because she got a problem submitting. But, you know, lay all jokes aside though, like that's how it has to be, because we're trying to build this thing together, right? Or even if me and DJ in business and partnership and Will, you know, it's a partnership that focuses on what? Us collaborating, us bringing new ideas to the table. Because even though I'm the host, I don't know everything. That's what DJ come in at. That's what Will come in at with his production skills. DJ, he really gets to the research. I get to the bullet points. I type them up. I put my face out there to make sure, hey, this is what we all need to do to make this more of a collaboration team so we can keep co-creating great content.
Absolutely. And I know you hear this saying all the time, Al, and this saying is basically like when somebody wants to jump into a relationship with you, like what do they usually say? Let's build together.
Yeah.
This is the sign. This is basically, when I say that, this is basically the sign of procreation. And procreation is pretty much like two people like basically working together.
Yeah.
And like one person listens, the other person obeys their commands, and then like based on the situation, it shifts based on that situation. So like if that other person has more expertise in that situation, then they lead.
There you go. Because I always say this in relationships, like submission, guys, like it's not a bad thing. Because like most situations in certain relationships, yeah, it should be some submission involved, but it can't come from a place of authority. Because like your girl gonna be like, who is you talking to? Like, you don't talk to me like that. Like, you ain't my daddy. Like, I've been raised already. You're not gonna raise me again. Like, get in there and get to those dishes, and then after that, I need my feet rubbed, or vice versa. She might say, did you take that garbage out? Make sure you take that garbage out. And when you done, I got something else for you to do. Hold on, you ain't my mama. So that comes from it comes from like an authority standpoint. Instead of saying, okay, let's do this as a team. Baby, look, I'm gonna do this, and do this. You gotta get this, and this. And then we're gonna bring this together, and as long as we keep working as a team, we're gonna be fine.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about bullet point number 3, conflict resolution. So I'm gonna take this from a standpoint of avoidance and collaboration.
Okay. Oh man, like, let's break this down.
Break it down, DJ. Break it down, DJ.
Break it down, baby. Nah, one deals with, basically one, which is avoidance, deals with like one leads to resentment, and then like the other one leads to mutual respect, which is collaboration. But with avoidance, when it comes down to like, it's taken in the stance of like submission. So basically, one dynamic is you're being low as far as the assertiveness, but you're having high cooperativeness, meaning that you're not going to assert yourself with the decision makings or anything like that, but you're going to cooperate to your fullest abilities with that other person. So the person that you're basically cooperating with basically got your full attention.
Man, I like that, because when I break down avoidance and collaboration, I always say by submitting may involve avoiding conflict through passive arguments, or also leading to potential resentment. And why? Because like that person just don't want to argue. They be like, man, you know what? I just don't feel like doing all that. Like, I'm just gonna get the job done, but I just ain't really got nothing to say to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you came down with, it seems like, authority. And that's not really coming from like a collaboration standpoint. But when you go into partnership, it can open communication. It can tackle issues together and finding compromising situations. So it's okay. And I tell people this all the time, but if it's friendship, relationships, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. But let's come with a solution. So if y'all going through some problems in a relationship, communication is the key. I'm not a mind reader. I can know when you're feeling mad, or like I can know when you're going through things, but I'm not a mind reader. So the first thing we have to do is we have to start with communication. Secondly, we have to tackle the issue together. What is key bringing us to this point? Like, how can we get past this? Because at the end of the day, I believe in nobody's going to sleep mad. Nobody's leaving the house mad. Because that could be the last time you can see a person. So we don't never try to do that. But most importantly, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to find a compromising solution where both parties are happy. And if we do that, then that's what I like to call collaboration versus avoidance.
Absolutely. But that was well said. No, but with collaboration, like, this is going to tie into like partnership. Basically, the dynamic of that is like high assertiveness and high cooperation, meaning that you're going to get that person's full cooperation, but in return, that other person is going to reciprocate the same thing.
Exactly, because it's the energy that you're giving out. So if we're working as a team and you say, hey, you know what? You ever been in a relationship where a woman always tell you like, yo, like you just always know the right things to say? Or even a guy might tell you this to you ladies out there. You always just know the right things to say. It's like you get me. You listen to me. Because like how DJ's saying, that's assertiveness. And you know what I'm saying? Like your attention to detail. And then, you know, what you're putting out there, she's going to give it back. So that's why I say, if she come in the house all tanked up, for an example, you don't fight fire with fire. And then that's going to lead her to resentment and avoidance. She'll be like, I don't want to talk to you. Slam the doors. You know how the doors slam. Dudes, you know what I'm saying? But when you, when she come in tanked up, you're like, hey, sweetheart, come and sit on daddy lap. Come and talk to me for a minute. You all tanked up right now. Like, massage her shoulders, talk to her, see what's going on. Look, let's get to the tackling issue. And then we can move past that and we can figure out a compromising solution together where, you know, she can say, okay, that made me feel better. And bullet point 4, let's talk about autonomy and independence. So we're going to talk about surrender versus independence.
Ooh.
Let's get to it, DJ.
Hey, this is deep, though.
Yeah, it's getting deep.
Now, with autonomy versus independence, like, what autonomy basically does is, like, it's basically self-directed and self-governed. So when it's self-governed, it's aligning your actions with internal values. And when you have it versus independence in that state realm, what happens is, like, it's basically you're operating without external support.
Ooh, say that again, boy. Dirty, you killed that. And it's funny that you mentioned that, DJ, because in a submissive dynamic, one partner may sacrifice their own needs. And opinions or personal autonomy happens, which is that's in what I like to call like surrendering something. But in partnership, both parties maintain their individuality while they're acting as independently. So let me break this down. So what I mean by, let's say now we're in a situation where somebody had to sacrifice something for the greater good. So if I'm taking it from a submission standpoint, this is where I'm gonna fall on the side of submission, because if it's for me to sacrifice something for the greater good of our relationship, then I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna jump on the side of independence as well, because the goal is that at the end of the day, I still have to keep my independence, which means like not losing who I am and my dignity. So when it comes to like relationships, like I feel like both parties should have to surrender something or sacrifice something for the greater good. Like you might have to sacrifice time.
Yeah.
You know, you might have to sacrifice some money. Like, because sometimes we're going to have to take some money to make some money. We might have to go into our savings and, you know, look, we're going to figure this thing out. Because as in partnership, what you lacking in, I have to be able to follow behind you and take care of that.
Absolutely.
So us working together as a team, nobody's really feeling the draft. Like, man, I spent all my money, you know. No, like, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? So both parties have to act, like, independently. As far as, like, we have our own independent, like our own, like, individually goals. But at the same time, we both into something that we're trying to do as a team together. So I'm on the side of a submission on that one.
Like, you know what's crazy about surrendering? It's crazy because, like, when it comes down to surrendering, a lot of people don't want to give up that power. And what basically surrendering is letting go of control.
No,
and
letting
people
go of control,
want to be in control of like their whole situation because they're so used to it. And if they lose control, what happens is they got to put their trust in somebody else. And that is hard to do.
That's hard to do, bro. That's hard to do.
And then when it comes down to the independence aspect of it, when it comes down to surrendering, it focuses on retaining that control.
Yep. Because think about this. I've been independent my whole life, right? So I'm used to controlling everything I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now that I have a partner, you know, you have to start taking yourself out the equation and say, hey, this is not about me no more. So the decisions that I make from here on out, I have to always make sure I run it by her or see how she feels about it. Because at one point in time, yes, I probably could just take that gig and I could do that commercial and I could film there and I don't have a care in the world because it's all about me, right?
Yep.
But the moment though now is giving up power is like, yo, I know we were supposed to spend some time together, so I know we got to go on vacation. So I need to talk to her and see how she feel about me taking this gig. And this gig can be paying a lot of money, but this could be for the greater good of the both of us.
Absolutely.
So like that's how you have to look at that. And bullet point 5, motivation. So we're gonna talk about fear, obligation versus love and respect.
Oh, this is getting good, man.
Let's get them, DJ. Let's get them.
No, but with fear and obligation, like what that stems from is basically external pressures and duties to avoid negative consequences.
Ooh. Yeah, because you gotta think about it. When it comes to fear and obligation, unhealthy submission sometimes can be driven by fear or just obligating to feel like, you know, hey, I have to do this when I don't have to. But when it comes to love and respect, I'm going to look at it from a healthy partnership that is driven by mutual love, respect, and trust. So if we build in trust and I say, baby, look, this is a risky move that we're about to take,
Yep.
but I trust you. So here, take this $30,000 and we're going to invest this into whatever stocks we got, whatever the case may be, or whatever, or we're trying to open up a business. And that's going to be our driving force to get us to where we want to get to, and that would be the next level. But what I have to do, I have to have a mutual love and respect for you and have to be able to trust you enough to know that we can make this thing work. And that's the motivation behind it.
Absolutely. And like when it comes down to like love and respect, like that arises from like eternally, meaning like it basically like focuses on joy, mutual care, and having that type of connection. But when it's used like as far as like in a submissive standpoint, like it's basically like a power imbalance. I mean, it's basically like a power imbalance. But as a partners and as a partnership, like it's used as equal and collaboration.
Well enough said. And also with bullet point 6, flexibility in roles. So we're gonna talk about rigid versus fluid. Alan, what do y'all mean by that? Well, sit back and just listen real quick. My boy DJ finna break it down.
Absolutely. No, but the reason why this is so important is because like one leads and the other one is exchanged, meaning like the power switches depending on the situation, and it switches based on the expertise of that situation.
There you go. So when it comes to like rigid, right? Submission often follows like traditional rigid gender roles. So I'm the man. I got to do this. Let me lead. I'm the man. You listen to what I tell you because I'm the man and I should be the leader of this. That's the old traditional way. It's not the 1930s no more, so we got to come out of that, which is a partnership that I like to look at things. It falls into individual fluid roles, whether a partner could take lead in any situation depends on the expertise of the situation and of the relationship. So where I might be good at health and fitness, and we can get to our goals so we can become the very best versions of ourselves, your expertise might be good at budget and money. So what's wrong with me letting you lead in that area?
Absolutely.
The goal is we got to do this as a partnership, and that's what I like, a fluid relationship when it comes to flexibility in our roles, because I don't have to take over everything. Like at the end of the day, yeah, I am the leader. But what's wrong with me sometimes just taking it back to you saying, baby, look, you know what, you're just a little bit better at that than I am. Because I probably better took that money and did something crazy with it. So, you know what I'm saying, you got it.
Absolutely. When it comes down to like submission, like rigid basically fits that category. But when you also think of rigid, you also think of like structure.
Yeah.
Meaning like it's fixed roles, one holds the decision-making power, meaning like one person has the power, the other person does not have the power. And when it comes down to like the partnership, like that's solidified as like more fluid. So you have the flexibility, meaning like you're going to adapt to the roles, and the roles are going to shift based on expertise and situation, like I said before.
Yeah. And I'd be damned if I just get somebody a whole original roll over me. I can't do. Get your butt in that bed. You like dang, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Dead,
Or do like you're on the phone with your friend. You too loud on that phone. Get off that phone anyway. You're like dang, like bro, that's your mama or your girl. But the last bullet point. Emotional safety. So we're gonna talk about submission versus vulnerability.
Okay. Basically, with emotional safety, like it serves as a foundation for like intimacy. But like vulnerability is the act of like opening up within that space.
I like that because now we tap into emotions. So with submission, sometimes described as trusting a partner with leadership or security, or one-sided submission can feel as restrictive. So that means, for an example, you might be afraid to lead, or you're so used to people leading you your whole life that you never really knew how to be a leader. So you feel comfortable if somebody led the situation because that's just what you're comfortable and used to. Versus a true partner fosters safety, fosters a safe space where vulnerability is open to express your emotions. So you might talk about something deep that might have happened to you in your past that you never shared with anybody else, or things that you might have been through in the past, and that person saying, hey, you know what, it's okay, you could talk to me about anything. I'm not here to judge you, and I'm not here to take from you. I'm here to help you gain. And that person feel like they have emotional safety then.
Absolutely. And then like when it comes down to like emotional safety too, it's basically dealing with like your environment. But like without that particular safety, like vulnerability is very dangerous to just give to just anybody. Because when you give that out, you're giving a piece of yourself to that other person. And what happens is like if you're giving that piece to that other person, you're entrusting that person is guarding it with their lives. And and that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Because people could take that information, let's say like, you tell them that, hey, I used to be on drugs a long time ago, or, I used to be an alcoholic, or, I used to be poor. It might be good in that moment and say, baby, you tell me anything, I never use this against you. But one day I get into an argument, she used it against you, or he used it against you. And now you feel like, hey, dang, that was like, I thought that was a safe space where I feel like I opened up myself to you. I never did that with anybody. So just be careful who you open yourself up to. Now, the Alan the DJ's final thought. DJ, what's your final thought when it comes to submission and partnership in a relationship?
To me, like I feel like in this world, like now we're in a day of age of where like a lot of people want to be in a relationship to where like everything is 50-50. But when I saw the relationship that my dad and like his wife had, like before he passed away, I saw like what true love really was, and that was in the form of submission. So I want to have that type of style.
Most def. I say, just take the responsibility, man. Take the responsibility to hear your partner, listen to your partner, and don't let it be one-sided. Let it be shared. Also, growth and development. Let it be. Some things can be as individual, but let most of the time y'all situation be mutual, and most importantly, support. Be that support system that they need. And when you do that, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Alan and DJ Show. You can find the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com. If you have any questions about what you want us to talk about next, you can also find the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube and on our fan page on Facebook, where the numbers are just steady growing. And you can also find my personal page, Alan Hutchins, on Instagram and Facebook, and the producer extraordinaire, William J. Smith, Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, Y'all be partners and be great partners to each other, and let the values be shared equal. And stay well, stay healthy.
Peace.